This is the brand new, just released E-cosy Hampton Vista 500 wide. I've reviewed a Hampton before, but this one definitely maximises that wide view, and obviously you know I'm a fan of a log store. Hi, I'm Gabriel. My family have always done stoves. We've had the biggest stove companies and the smallest. I've been the warehouseman, the delivery boy, the fitter, the salesman, the managing director, and now what can we have as a special slogan? Should we just have the tortoise?
It's a bit boring, isn't it?
Yeah. They do a standard Vista 500, which isn't quite as wide, but still has the log store, and obviously this is the sort of full-size one. It's rated at 5 kilowatts, but really can probably hit a little bit more than that. It's got the same construction and baffle plate design as the other Hampton I've reviewed, which you can see here. Obviously the baffle I wasn't super keen on, but everything else about the stove works superbly. They're completely focused on burning wood, so they've got no grate, no ash pan, but that really maximises wood burning efficiency. They also come with a glove, which is great, and a brush, and I'm not too sure what the brush is for, but I'm sure it's very useful. They're made from steel and they have big cast iron doors, and this one obviously has the log store and quite a nifty control, which I know is, you know, subjective, but I quite like it.
Yeah, I quite like it.
It also has direct air, as you can see here. Okay, let's light it. That was a force of habit. I just opened the door like really slowly so no smoke came out, and obviously it's not lit yet. So some small logs, which we'll put in the base of this brand new stove. I don't think they've even released it yet. So we've got like
Have they not?
No, it's we have got the sort of, you know.
When's it being released?
Yeah, pretty soon, but yeah, it's not on their website. It's brand new. This
or discontinued.
No, it's brand new.
That would be funny though.
This is quite a wide stove, so you want to put a reasonable amount of fuel in it. You need to get lots of heat into a stove initially. That's really important and a step that's missed all too often. People create a tiny little fire in the middle, and what happens is everything goes black, nothing gets up to temperature, and the whole lot's a complete nightmare. So make sure you don't scrimp on fuel. And it's not that it's wasted fuel, because it just means you don't have to go back to it for twice as long. Because if you've built a little tiny little castle in the middle, you're tending to it every 5 minutes. So a fire lighter on the top. By the way, these are the tortoise matches, which you should definitely buy just below this video on my little YouTube shop. So all up to temperature in 12 minutes, no issues with smoke or really anything. This stove runs at 80% efficiency, which is fantastic. Wide appliances are at certain disadvantages. They obviously look great and they give you that wide view, but it does affect cleanness and fuel economy. But obviously at 80%, it's not too bad. It's got DEFRA approval, eco design. I've run it overnight, even with the DEFRA kit still installed. I ran it overnight, and in the morning the glass is still clean. And it doesn't cloud either from just high efficiency burning. So cleanness wise, particularly for a wide stove, it's fantastic. I rated it at between 7 and 8 out of 10. That wide view has lowered efficiency slightly, but obviously it gives you that fantastic picture. The handle stays cool, so I can operate it with a bare hand. And there's no issue with smoke coming out. The handle initially did have a sort of, as you can see here, a sort of very satisfying clunk, and after it's been used, it's not quite as sort of, it still closes perfectly well, but it doesn't quite have that clunk. I'm being a little bit picky because, well, maybe I'm in a picky mood, but the handle's still nice, and the fact that it stays cool is great. I particularly like the air control, which is like just a turn knob on the side, and I mean, both the Hamptons I've tested have been really controllable, but it's surprising because these are not expensive stoves, but you know, you go from a busy flame like this and shut it down and instantly got that very pretty wavy flame, and of course then you can just dial it back and sort of really feed it. I mean, it's, you know, they run beautifully clean. Also comes with a glove, which is useful, and as I've mentioned, not sure, but the controls on this, because of the really good responsive nature, still gets a 7 out of 10. We test fuel economy by getting the stove up to operating temperature and then burning a single net to see how long it will maintain at operating temperature. It's been really helpful actually having the smaller Hampton in one room and this Hampton in the other room, because wide stoves tend to use a little bit more fuel, and this one did. It was always sort of going out about an hour before the other one, and that's sort of the trade-off with this very, very wide view. But it could still run overnight really, really well. It could still stay clean overnight as well, which is fantastic. The other advantage that it gives you is both of these Hamptons that I've reviewed have been rated officially at 5 kilowatts, but this one, because of this wider view, we know it's capable of a little bit more. I think it's been tested as high as 7 kilowatts. So if you have got, you know, you don't want an air vent, but you have got a bigger room and you want a bit of extra heat, this may well be the one to go for. It has the same baffle plate design as the other Hampton, which I wasn't 100% convinced by, but this stove has like convection panels, it has stay cool handles, it's got really, really excellent control, and this massive wide view. It's one of those stoves where if you're going to use it for sort of evenings and weekends, or if you've got an Airbnb or a let property, like, it looks $1 million, but it's only going to cost you, you know, well, far less than the equivalent, and it still performs at a level that's similar to the vastly more expensive model. It's a fantastic stove, and if you're wanting it for that sort of thing, evenings and weekend use, or for lets or Airbnb or that sort of thing, it's hard to fault.